What the heck is going on, guys? We are back with another podcast. Today we have TOASTERBRO and Power. So TOASTERBRO is currently number one on our server for Brawl Arena, I think, on VeloDuel server, and Power is way up there too. They are both Sujo, so Toaster's leader of Sujo. Power used to be Dwar, but he doesn't love us anymore.
No, I still do.
But you guys could go ahead and introduce yourself. Power, you want to go first?
Yeah, so, hey, I'm Power. I'm Orbia main. I mainly focus on PvE, but lately I've kind of been starting to get into the PvP scene, and I'm really enjoying it, learning a lot more about the monsters and stuff like that way. I've been playing since maybe like 2 weeks after the server started, or NA opened up. And Sky Arena, man, I played that probably like 7, 8 years ago. But this game came up, and I was like, I had a good time playing that game, so I tried this one out, and I'm loving it.
Mm-hmm. And yourself, Toaster?
Oh yeah, so I'm the leader of Suju. I took over Suju after our last guild leader quit their game here. I'm currently ranked 1 on VeloDuel. I'm a Kina main, so if that interests you, you can hit me up. I'll teach you how to play and show you the tips and tricks that I've learned over time. I coach Power, so
I also call him coach.
but I do coaching. I do help our guys in the Discord with their brawls because I love it, and I have a lot of knowledge. I never actually played Sky. Well, I did play Sky Arena. I lied. I played it for a couple weeks, about 6 or 7 years ago. I spent a ton of money, and then I gave the account away because it wasn't really my cup of tea. But this is nicer because we get the same monsters. We get the extra movement, and I've been loving this game ever since I picked it up. I started a month after the release because I haven't heard about it. They didn't have very much advertisement around it, and somebody else got me into it.
You heard from someone else about it?
Yeah, I heard from somebody else. They told me about the game, and I had no clue about it.
I'm really hoping with global launch to kind of increase the amount of advertising that they do. But let's go ahead and jump into the first topic here. So kind of just want to talk about the new content stuff. How far have either of you guys gotten in Galagos runes?
So I've gotten all the way up to the 4th floor. I'm having quite a bit of trouble there. I can't even pass the first stage, and I feel like a lot of it is you can get kind of unlucky with the buffs that you get too, which is unfortunate, or unlucky, which I feel like I got a handful of rough ones, so I just don't have the DPS to push, and that's as an Orbia that probably has the highest attack on the server. Like, it's just crazy.
Did you go for all attack buffs, or did you go for more HP type buffs?
I just took whatever was the best one I felt like they gave me out of the 3. When they would give me attack ones, I'd take it, or like resistance type stuff, just things so that I could just keep on moving freely and trying to dish out the damage. But yeah, I just can't pass that first stage on floor 4. Yeah, it's almost the same on like every floor, but I guess on stage 4 or floor 4, there's an added room at the end that we didn't know about. I was streaming it to Toaster, and he was helping me through it, and we thought that I cleared like the last 3 monsters with 20 seconds left, and then a final boss room that didn't open on the other 3 floors opened up with way more monsters, and I was like, yep, that's not happening.
Ooh. So Toaster, how far have you gotten into it?
Hey, I'm in the same boat, actually. I got all the way to the 4-4-1, and I quickly realized that it wasn't really, it wasn't working for me either. I thought I'd gotten the best buffs, but when I hit floor, the 3rd floor final boss, I realized, I thought the whole time, I was like, Kina is the greatest. This is our content. We're going to be number 1. And then you fight that Dark Borbos, and he one-shots you. He just Superman punches you from halfway across the map and just kills your Kina in one hit. And then you have to start all over. You lose that monster energy. I actually cleared it on the, my very last try. I was like, I give up. This is it. I put in some crazy dumb squad. I thought I had no chance of clearing it, and we managed to magically clear it. And then I hit the next floor, and I quickly realized I didn't have a silence. I didn't have that invincibility. I didn't build my monster box properly because I didn't know what to expect.
Of course, right?
So we live and we learn. Next season, I expect I'm going to clear the whole thing now that I know like what kind of debuffs we can use, what comps I need. I got that Wusa built, so I think this next one when we reset in about 3 days and like 8 hours, I'm gonna try to full clear this one. I think I can do it.
Yeah, I'm pretty sad
But
to
I
use my
definitely feel like
Wusa.
Kina's got a big advantage on this with being able to heal and clear the floor solo because you don't lose energy if your summoner dies and it's just by itself.
Thankfully, I do think most summoners have a way to heal, but Kina's definitely queen at it. But I'm similar to you guys, except I'm way weaker in a pleb. So that happened to me on floor 3. Everything was going good. I did the first floor by myself, no monsters, just me and my vampire with my Orbia. And then second floor, pretty easy. The boss was like kind of hard. And then I went to do 3-1 and it was just like a whole new level of hardness. So I'm assuming the same thing happens at 4, just depending on like your personal power level. But yeah, I tried 3-1 like 6 times and I was like, this is bullshit. I can't do this. But like you said, I had used my Wusa. I was trying to save my Chloe because my dumbass thought I was going to get to the end of floor 3. So I wanted to save my Chloe for the Boro Boro guy because I had watched Topher do it on stream. And he was like so close. She was like 1 HP to the last spider. And he got killed. And I was really sad for him. But yeah, it's definitely super hard content. So you were saying you think you need silence?
Well, they added when you check the 3-9 bosses. It's also the floors leading up, the mini boss floors where they have the Veramos. The Veramos is actually really hard to beat because if you debuff him and he does a ground slam that does a bunch of AoE damage, really hurts, and he cleanses his debuffs and he heals himself based on the debuffs that he has on him. So what you can do to cheese him is you just silence him, and then he won't use his skill, and he just lets you beat. He's just a punching bag at that point.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah, I just run segment and just spam the silence skill, and yeah, it was the easiest thing in my life.
yeah, maybe I'm gonna have to rebuild my segment. So many monsters I like Red Zone. So you're like, they're too expensive. They're an at 5, and then now I wish I just kept it all.
Well, as you progress, you also find that you need more than just like you can bring your attacks, you bring your heals, but you can use more than that. Like that 3-9 boss, when I got there, you can actually put both of the spiders to sleep. Like each of them have their own weakness. So like the lizard can be silenced, Borbo can be frozen, and then both the big spider bosses can be put to sleep. So you can actually just put them to sleep and deal with one at a time, and then just keep sleeping the other one, and that would make that floor so much easier.
Mm-hmm. Your Ashley Bell might have a purpose over there, Chetta.
Yeah. But when they wake up, they have this cooldown until they can get slept again, right? So you actually have to kill them.
How long is the cooldown?
I don't know, like 30 seconds or something. Not sure. It moves pretty slow. It's just like a face thing beside her, and it's got like a slow timer on it.
And then as far as immunity givers go, there's only really Chloe, right? I guess
She
there's
doesn't give immunity.
or not immunity, sorry. Invincibility, I apologize. There's the Wind Valkyrie, but she doesn't really like give it to herself. It's only if she like defeats like a creature, and then it's only to herself.
Yeah.
So is there anyone else? Like, do you guys have anyone that gives
I think Light Oracle.
light
A lot of
oracle?
light monsters do.
Yeah, a lot of light monsters,
But
yeah.
that's pretty much it that I know of.
Because, yeah, like, Chloe's really clutch for a few stages. I think she's an absolute must-pick. Do you guys have a couple other monsters that you think are going to be, like, absolute must-picks going forward in Galagos?
I really think Wusa's going to be. I think Wusa's going to make a huge difference. Juno, like our normal like top end, like the monsters we recognize as like top tier. But also Camilla. I think Camilla's going to be something that we might see a huge increase of use because she actually decreases with her new buff. She decreases the amount of crit damage taken by the team summoner. So like in those Borbo cases where he one-shots you, it doesn't identify that it has to be PvP. So Borbo might do less damage when he goes to one-tap me, and that could actually bring about, living longer.
Power, did you have trouble as an Orbia, like, staying alive?
Gosh, I do when it comes to those later stages, but same thing. I brought, Chloe, I brought Wusa, and they really helped a lot. I burned through my Vestet pretty quick, unfortunately, but the shields are key for me, for sure. Some
Well,
of
and the
those mini
nice
bosses do a
thing,
lot of damage.
sorry about that. The nice thing about the shields, right, is it's based off the monster's max HP too, right? So
Yeah.
for people like us who have no HP, to get a shield that's worth like 60,000 HP, that's like, for me, that's like 20,000 more than my actual HP even is, right?
Yeah, for sure, pretty much.
So
Yep.
the shields really help the Orbeus.
Oh yeah. And for
Um,
me, it's gonna come down to I think I'm gonna try and pick more based off of what the magic order is. I didn't pay much attention to it last time.
Yeah.
I'm
yeah,
just
me
thankful
too.
that a lot of my strongest monsters are already water elements. But I'm gonna focus more around that next time around.
I kind of feel like they did that on purpose. I think they know a lot of us have good water monsters, right? Because Bastet, they pretty much, as long as you went ham on that event, you were able to max her almost. And then Theo, they gave us a lot of, because they gave us the Theo and then they gave us the Alakmir event, which helps a lot of people like skill them up and stuff like that. So I think they kind of knew that like water monsters were everyone's like go-to a little bit. I think a lot of people had the water beetle too. That was a huge banner that everyone talked about as well. And that was a water monster. But do you guys have anything else on Galagos runes? If not, we'll switch into some guild raid topics.
I mean, I do have one complaint about the Galagos thing. I think they really need to work on the wording of the skills. There were a couple times where I picked a skill because it sounded so good. It looked so good on paper, but then when you reread it like 10 times, you realize that it's based on your monster dying, and you're like, "Whoa, I don't want my monster to die."
Yeah.
But you can also go that way. I watched another streamer. They went monster death route, and what they were doing is they were putting in like a 3-star that they put in their bucket, and they would let it die, and then you could get these permanent buffs that would last the whole match. And I was like, I guess that's one way to approach it. Like, just pick all those skills and then use those permanent buffs to your advantage. And one of them was like a crazy defense buff, so he took no damage on his cleave and was able to dish out even more damage.
Oh wait, so do you keep those when you revive the monster back too?
Yeah,
Or
yeah, it just
okay,
has to,
so
a monster has to
purposely kill
die.
them, res them, and boom.
Yeah, and you still get them, but he was
So
using,
does that come from like the like where it shows you like the 4 like faces or whatever? Is that where that information's
No,
coming?
it's like the random buffs that you get at the end of each stage and from the treasure chest thing.
Oh, if your monster dies, you get a buff though. That's what I'm.
Yeah, like some of them
Yeah.
are like that. You skipped all those ones because you did the same thing. You're like, oh, my monster's not going to die. And it's like, just a different one.
Cocky fucking bitch. Okay, well, interesting. Do you have anything, Power? Any complaints or anything about the Galagos?
No, I think that pretty much just about covers it. I guess the only other thing I could think of is don't forget to bring revivers, I think. I didn't realize until like 5 days in that the only reviver I brought was Tion, which is somewhat unfortunate.
I just kept switching in my Tion when I needed to revive and then switching them out really quick.
Yep, same here.
Because I did the same thing. Yeah, one thing Chet mentioned to me is one thing that we found really good about the Galagos. Of course, there's always problems. It was a little buggy on mobile, of course. Everything's buggy on mobile. But it almost feels like a different game. You know, like there's this whole new, like, subsection to the game that's, like, for PvE people.
It's like a dungeon crawler.
So,
yeah,
that was...
roguelike.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was pretty cool, but let's talk about guild raids. So, I will say Duar beat 5 today, and
Very
we were really confused. Okay, so I want to talk about this with you guys, because you guys might know. So, we went in, so we cleared... Can you enter 5 before you clear 4? No, right?
Well,
No,
well,
okay.
according to the guild raid thing, you should be able to, because I was
Okay.
looking at that too.
We
Because
think someone did.
Yeah, because if you click the strategy info, I believe, or one of the little tooltips, it says that you only have to clear the last, or maybe it was with the patch notes. You could actually just clear the one that was the final one without without doing the previous levels. And then
Yeah, so
get
let me
all the rewards.
explain quick what happened to Dwar, because we're a little salty about it. Okay, So we had a plan today to all go in, beat level 4 super quick, and then all go in together and beat level 5. It's kind of what you got to do, right? You got to make sure you have someone or 2 people, at least 1 person, but maybe 2 people on the pillar. You got to make sure you kill the guy, the little night guy that comes up. But so we did pretty good. The first 5 minutes we had it down to like 2 bars, a bar and a half. And then it took us like another 3 minutes and 30 seconds, I think.
2 minutes and 30 seconds.
2 minutes and 30 seconds. And we killed it. And then our time all of a sudden was 11 minutes.
Yeah, when it was only 7.5 minutes.
So our whole alliance was like, what? And like, I was over here like, not gonna lie, like, you dumbasses, obviously you can't enter level 5. But then, like, that's the only explanation, is that someone entered level 5 before we had beat level 4.
Well, I heard that for you guys took a break between the first and second entry.
Like a 35-second break.
Yeah, it wasn't even. It was like 5 seconds.
Yeah, it was like, okay, and then I was like, oh, there's more people going in, and people were like, yeah, there's 5 people in already. I'm like, okay, let's go, because we were in voice. It couldn't have even been 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Because the only way I could think about it was like either they were able to go in because they cleared rank 5, but that doesn't fit because you guys couldn't clear rank 5 last week. The only thing I can think of is maybe somebody pre-queued, like when you guys were getting in Discord, they just went in on accident, and then they probably don't want to tell you that they did.
That's what we think happened. I wish the person would just say it, to be honest. Be like, yo, might be, I wanted to make sure I got rewards or something, because as of right now, we don't really know what happened. So, yeah, but anyway, that's enough about that. That was just a little us today. We didn't know what happened. But what were your guys' experience? You were the first to clear it on our server as Sujo. Did you find it pretty easy once you all went in, or what was your guys' plan?
Well, I think the first time we cleared it, it was really easy because there was everybody wanted to do it. It was new content. Everybody got on for it. And then actually we didn't even clear rank 5. We probably won't clear it this week.
We were wondering what was going on, not gonna lie.
Yeah, we had a couple of our stronger members, like one of them was sick and the other one wasn't able to they kind of missed the window. We had some people that wrote down the time and they showed up an hour late. So we had a big mix up this week when it came to setting up the raid and getting everybody in.
That's funny, that was us the first week.
Yeah, that was us last week.
Yeah. First week, everyone couldn't get off the game. They were waiting for that.
It was all hyped and they were excited about it. And I think they kind of died down, or they felt like, I think some people felt like, they got it without me type of deal. I don't need to get on. And
because it was like so easy. Because that's kind of what I found too. Like once 24 of you are in there and someone's taking care of that tower. Shout out to Azel, or is that how you say it?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, she held it down for us. But once you have someone on that pillar, it's pretty easy. There's not really much. Even if you don't dodge, it's not really a big deal. It kind of sucks, but
yeah, because you take less damage. I think the guild rate's fantastic. I think the mechanics are really good. It really helps you show coordination, because if that pillar goes all the way to the end, then the boss does one of those ults, he gets the damage resistance, increased damage. I think it's like
it happened to us right at the end.
Yeah. And then the second one's 80%. If he does it twice, the boss gets an 80% damage reduction, making it pretty much impossible to kill. So yeah.
Yeah, because we took the first 8 bars like in 5 minutes, no problem, and the last 2 bars took us forever because he, like you said, he got off that ultimate one time, and yeah, the damage reduction was just so massive. It was so hard to do anything to him, and then he's stealing your shield sometimes too, right? If you don't get that block beneficial. So I found that block beneficial was like very, very useful.
I like that raid. It's fun so far.
I found it to be too easy. I don't know.
Yeah. I hope that they open up, they said that it was going to be 10 levels. And when you enter the game even, the screen that comes up, like the pop-up window that comes up, says that it's 10 levels.
Isn't it 10 levels on Korea right now?
Yeah.
It's 10 levels, but it's the same HP pool bar. So what it is it's 10 levels, because I was looking at that the other day. I checked out Storyteller's video, and in his video, he shows that the level 9 had like 200 million HP. It was exactly like our level 5. There wasn't really a big change.
Yeah. Yeah, I heard that it's just, ours is just more condensed than theirs. That it's the same rewards and everything total. And the
See,
same.
that's just better though, because it's hard enough to coordinate your whole
Yeah.
alliance and stuff. Like,
It's better for NA.
yeah.
Yeah, I think that's what it is they're trying
big
to kind of cut down on what like how much we have to do, like be active for and stuff like that, and cut down on the grinding. Seems like they've been doing a lot of that, so.
The biggest problem with NA right now that I'm worried will go away at launch, but like would also be good, is like our alliance, especially in particular, we have like half EU, right? So we're on like completely different time zones. So that makes it hard for this type of content too, to like get together. But again, I guess that's just because the NA server, not global.
I think that's also going to change a lot. It's going to be hard too once a global's already been announced. I believe on Twitter saying March 6th.
March 9th.
March 9th. My bad. I'm sorry.
No, that's okay.
Yeah. The I flipped it over. It's okay. I played 21 at the blackjack table. I always hope they flip the number. It doesn't work. So we might see a decrease in players when that launches, and what I really hope is that when they do launch global, they just mash us all into a global server and call it good,
Well, COM2US always had separate servers, right? For like Asia, EU, and stuff like that. Now, mind you, that game was highly populated compared to this one. I think Sky Arena
Yes.
had a lot more population. So what I'd like to see at least is all the West servers and the East servers merge at some point. Like, how we have like
North
Bellator
America is all
here.
just one server instead of like right now I think it's 7.
But it's hard to say because like a lot of times me and Chetta go off Sky Arena because Chetta played Sky Arena for like 8 years.
Yeah.
And I played it for like 3.
When they launched EU and Asia for Sky Arena, they offered players, I think it was 3,000 gems to switch servers.
So it was like $100
Take their
value.
account, get a $100 pack on a new server. And a lot of people took it.
Yeah, they're like F this account, and a lot of people like.
No, they got to keep their account. They took their whole account.
Oh, they got to take their account with. Oh, okay. And they got the incentive.
To populate the other servers with experienced players, right?
We're gonna lose half our alliance.
If they do that again, I don't know if they do that.
It's
That
hard
would
to
be
say.
so kind of weird because you might get, you know what I mean, a new server. You're thinking it might go back to where Foggy is the highest rate or White Castle is the highest rate out. You know what I mean? They'll slowly release them again, maybe a bit quicker like they did for us compared to Korea. But even so, you're gonna have people with like 500k plus power, and like everyone who's starting fresh is like struggling to hit 200k again.
See, I'm curious about that. If they're gonna release it like as the game is now, or if they're gonna like.
It seems like from the trailer that they had that they're going to release exactly what we have right now to Europe.
Okay.
Because they had like Morocco was in the trailer, and the giant boss guy was in the trailer too. I think
the giant boss guy, Seal
boss, yeah.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see what happens with global launch, to be honest. I'm curious. But let's go ahead and head into the next topic here. So this one I'm super excited to talk with you guys about. And I'm not really going to say much. I kind of want you guys to just talk for this one. But what do you guys think the main monsters are for PvP? I know we've talked a lot about Wusa and stuff like that. What are some of your guys' strategies and maybe some of your rune comps? Any advice you want to give people, stuff like that?
I'll probably let you start off on that one, Toaster.
I could talk all day on this one.
I mean, the first thing that pops into my mind, and like I said, I'm not as experienced with PvP as Juno, man. First thing that pops into my head, Juno.
She's the ban up in the high brawl, right? That's why you see Taylor all the time and not her, because everyone bans her, right?
She's a good ban. She's a really good ban. It also depends on the summoner. I feel like it really comes down to your playstyle, because they're like the craziest comp. Let me tell you, the craziest comp I've been fighting against is Harath. Harath has been running this Juno Verd comp in PvP, and it literally is it's like he has an Elenoa without having an Elenoa. So he just uses her to get his mana, uses Verd, and then he gets one mana saws and 1 mana heals, and he could just spam Juno the rest of the match. And
I told you Verd was going to be a god.
completely peel you apart. Like there's nothing you can do against it. And then by the time you get to it, he's generated so much mana that he's able to just ult again. And oh my goodness, it is an awful thing to deal with. But his other ban is a new character that's been coming out is Mo Long, the blue panda. He does fixed percent HP damage, and he is a cleave slayer. Like I mean, his normal skill 3, if you stack 10 mana, you can just one shot any monster right off the arena because he does do HP damage to himself, so he works best with Kina because I can heal him back up. But if you
Just like
hit something
Skyrina.
twice with his skill,
He's a
he
god.
won't kill himself, but he'll kill them. And then you can just top him off again, get 10 more mana, delete the next monster,
Yeep.
and then once you have mana, like the ultimate, it does 99%, and then you just touch the monster and it dies, or the cleave and it's gone. Like it's a really strong character coming up right now on Brawl.
Yeah, it might be really good with someone like Shasoon, right?
Yeah, Molong and Shasoon, because you just use Fallen Blossom and get them back up to full. Molong's actually hilarious. Every time I hear Molong, I just think of Island Groaned. So there was a streamer for Skyrina that tried to get Molong for like 8 years before he finally pulled him.
Yeah, then you just start pulling them like crazy.
Yeah, and then he pulled like 20 of them. It was hilarious. Oh, good old Molong. That's interesting you mentioned Verd, so I know I said I don't have too much to talk about on this, but I like just pulled him the other day and I got so hyped. Like he's gonna be so good. I already started putting him in my team and everything at Awakened 9 for some of my dungeons because he allows me to just spam my Hella brand to get it up to like 10 brand, so they're dead within like 6 seconds or whatever. It doesn't actually get up to 10. But yeah, sorry, no, it's not PvP, but Bird's awesome. I'm excited about my Bird.
I mean, I've never expected to see him in the PvP scene, but I've always known he was good. Like everyone's always talked about him. The fact that he turns your skills into 1 mana, and I mean Power, I think can talk about him in PvE all day.
Yep. Yeah, I love running the Argon Bird Tiana combo, or once I get the ult up with Tiana, I'll switch her back out for like Naomi or something, and yeah, just that ult is amazing. Just spamming 1 mana Argon attacks,
One mana Argon.
Yep.
Yeah, 1 mana makes everything so good.
So Toaster, do you face a lot of people on like other servers for Brawl Arena, or is it a lot of our servers still? Like, have you found some like other like tough competition on our server or other servers, or?
Oh, it's actually more. I'm at the point where I've climbed so high that it's really just. I only fight like the same 10 people every day. It's kind of getting redundant, but it's still good. Like I'm fighting like Hey Doc and I'm in Trouble, Sujin, they're all on, and QSQ, they're all on another server. They're on I believe they're on Taylor. And then there's also, Dax was on his own server. I don't know anybody else on his server. But there's only a couple people on our server. Trent as well. He's on server with Trouble, and then Smug's on my server. But it's really, when you get to the top, it's like it's always the same people, and it's always the same comps, and maybe they try to trick you and like put something else in there. But you get pretty confident because you memorize what their pick patterns are, and you can steal the characters, or you memorize like what their stat pools are, what their damage is like, whether you can take a couple hits from them or not, and how to protect yourself. So it gets kind of boring actually once you're up at the top.
Yeah, it's always been lonely at the top. Like this game, I can't really talk much because like I definitely am not like super high in the meta this game. I told myself I wasn't spending on this game like I have on other games, so I just buy my pass. But the game we played before this, Marvel Future Revolution, it was like that too. It was the same 10, 15 people, just trade wins back and forth. Like you said, you learn like in that game it was dash patterns and attack patterns and stuff. But same thing, pick bands, all that stuff. So yeah, that can get pretty boring for sure. But you must get a lot of crystals a week, huh?
Yes, I love that. We're talking like, I mean, easily pushing 30,000 crystals, maybe even more a month, just from PvPing, and like if you could say keep number 1, we're looking at like 70 LD scrolls. I'm not sorry, not 70. It's like 40 to 50 LD scrolls a month for free, and get all the Mystic scrolls now. So it's worth it to stay up there, but
making me jealous.
It's a lot of hard work though.
It's lonely, yeah. It's lonely and it's a lot of work. It takes a lot of investment and like and thinking ahead, like thinking about what you can do to counter stuff or how units work against people. That's like people Feng Yan, I'm sorry, Feng Yan, the green panda. We call him Unfair Bear.
I
But
love that they both only played Sky Arena for a little bit. They're like the green bear.
yeah. Uh,
Sorry.
yeah, I never played Sky Arena, so when I first started, I always just called everything the color and then what it was. Like I'm like Green Panda, and people are like, "Oh, that's his name." And then after a couple months, you learn all the names. But he's a really solid unit against Cleese because all Cleese skills are pretty much AoE, and the way he works is like if you hit him, he has a chance to counter, and his counter does insane damage. And so it's when you fight a Cleave and you have Green Panda, you just stand next to him, and the Cleave will just kill himself. And
Yeah.
it does. Sometimes it works on a Warbia. It sometimes it works on Kinas if they're not paying attention. But like me, if you put it against me, I'll just kill everything else, and I'll leave them for last, and then I'll kill them. It's not a big deal.
So you don't have to deal with the counterattacks and all the other monsters, yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
I don't know, I wish my Dark Panda was better. I don't know, he's good, but I was a little sad considering how good, like, just the elemental pandas are. I thought he'd be a god, but
Same for Light Panda. I thought he was going to be really good, and I've had regrets. I built him once. I had regrets. I reset him, and I was like, "Oh, this guy's garbage." And then people were like, maybe it's just me. Maybe it doesn't work for me." But he has a lot of requirements, and he doesn't do a counterattack. He doesn't cleanse himself. He just has a little fart cloud, and he has he puts debuffs. But I just
that's a
can't
problem
make
with
him work.
mine. It's the stats that he needs, because he needs such high HP, such high defense, he needs such high attack, he needs crit rate, he needs crit damage, he needs, like, accuracy. Like, it's just like, I don't have these crazy legendary runes. And in Sky Arena, we had like 6-star runes, so a lot of the stats were like higher. I know it's a different game, obviously, but like I get sad when I look at my stats because I'm so used to like more inflation, you know?
Well,
Like I see.
Sorry.
Oh, sorry. I was just gonna say, like, I see my 130 crit damage. I'm like, oh my god, that's so bad. And then I look at my runes and I have like crit damage everywhere. That's like kind of the highest crit damage I can be, you know? So, sorry, what were you gonna say, Toaster?
I was going to say, I think they need to kind of hurry up and push those 6-star runes out. I mean, hopefully they'll come out with a new zone, because the problem is our monsters are actually falling behind our summoners now. The summoners, like man, if you look at Fixie or Smug or Dax or like I'm in trouble, top PvPers, like their summoners 220k power, and he can beat a whole team by himself. And you just have to, if you pick better, you can beat him. But the fact that his summoner can just, is its own monster, is better than any monster he can bring in.
And just solo all 3 of your monsters plus you,
Yeah.
kinda. Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of busted. So we need to hurry up and kind of get those 6-star runes out here soon, so we can compensate the difference. Because if our monsters are 220k, our summoners 220k, I would say that's a pretty balanced, game.
Yeah, you wanted about the same. It's funny too because in the beginning it was like all monsters, right? Your monsters did like everything, and now it's like, because even for me as like lower spender, progressor, or whatever, like my summoner's starting to kind of overtake. Like there's no damage dealer I can really put in that's going to do more damage than me. So I started like, I need the healers and stuff like that more, and then I just kind of rely on myself for damage, which like it's kind of sad because like I miss my Theo and my Naomi and
Well, that's
crappy
also why
damage dealers.
the meta changes, because the meta used to be kill the summoner, win the match, and and that was back when we had 6-star gear, and then we got 6-star 2 awaken. We got to pump our stats up, we got better gems, and now our summoners are sitting on 60k HP. Like I can 2-shot most summoners, but I can't, and the endure change as well, and the death denials that they put in have really altered the way that we have to play, and it's more of a bruisery comp, like out survive the other guy, but also try to put damage in.
So speaking of meta, let's talk about the revive nerf. How you guys feeling? How you guys feeling about the revive nerf?
Blessed.
Yeah, I really enjoy it. I think it was a healthy change to kind of mix things up, because before it was just all about, a lot of people brought double revivers, and that's pretty much all it came down to, and not so much anymore.
Do you think it was like too much though, just as far as like PvP aspects and stuff like that go, or PvE, or you think it's fine?
Well, in PvE, I think it's perfectly balanced for PvE because you don't expect to. I mean, there's not very many situations where you're fighting something and your monster dies, and then you're like, I gotta pick it up because it like drops all aggro when it dies, and then when you pick it back up, it's not the first thing that monsters focus. It's focused on whatever it's focused on before. So it gives it time for your monsters for you to heal that monster or your AI to pick up and heal that monster. So I don't think it's a big nerf when it comes to PvP. I mean PvE. I'm sorry, but PvP. It's a godsend. Like man, seeing those Vanessa teams and you're just like, I can't kill the Vanessa because she's got 90,000 HP and she's got 10,000 defense and max evasion. But she can pick everything up for 3 mana costs. And the summoner focus, and that also helped drive away the kill the summoner win the game meta because like you can kill the monsters and you don't have to you just avoid the summoner and it changed the way we even PvP a lot.
Yeah, see, on the lower end, it was like I don't want to say I really got affected by it because I was fine, but I know a lot of the people who were in like middle tier PvP, it was kind of a lot for them because like I guess I don't want to say they were like cheesing some people who were a little stronger than them, but like if they went against someone who wasn't in the revive meta, they could maybe like overcome the power gap a little bit because they were able to like revive and stuff like that. So I think it kind of hurt the middle, but I could totally understand at the top once people, like you were saying, they did have those Vanessas with 90,000 HP, 10,000 K defense, and then on top of
That's
that, like you said, you said
It's
that
all-
he. No, I know what you're saying though. Like I think my Bastet's at 70,000 HP, and that's like the highest she can get. But like either way, I know what you're saying. Like super crazy. And that heal that she had was pretty nuts. It's like 50% of her HP or something like that. I can't remember exactly what it is, but a lot of her HP plus she had the defense break rate. So I was kind of in the boat where I thought Vanessa was just too OP. That's kind of how I felt about the revive meta. But at the same time, like I don't really know. I didn't see many people with it. I didn't use it, so
I got cheesed by so many like Kina with Vanessa and Tion teams. It was so annoying, especially as a cleave, because you have to chase them down and they're just running around the outside. And if you kill the Vanessa, the Kina that's been running around the outside just revives it. It was so annoying.
Yeah, it was a pretty toxic meta, I think. The revive meta, yeah, and I feel bad. Those mid people, they maybe that was the way they went, but I felt like it was such a cheesy strat. Like even at Cleaves, like you see those Cleaves and they're playing light Cleave because maybe you let it through, and then they're giving their Rezzers invincibility, but they're picking their monsters up at 80% health. You just worked 2 whole minutes to kill that monster just so it can get back up at almost max HP. It was a really toxic meta. I feel like it made me like I tell you, I almost rage quit 100 times against double revive meta, and and even like after you kill the summoner, it's still pretty difficult to deal with because you kill one and then it revives the other one. You kill the other one, it revives the other one, and you're just like, come on.
Yeah.
But for those mid-tier guys, man, if you want the new meta, you get out the revive meta, grab yourself a Wusa, put 100k HP on them, and just bubble up, man. You wait till the healing stops, and you win the game.
Yeah, we saw seems pretty nuts, but well, let's switch targets a little bit here. It's kind of still along the same topic, just like overall like monster discussion. Is there anyone you guys think that's like too overpowered right now? Like maybe like we've talked about Juno a few times on a few different podcasts. Maybe Taeor. I don't know who else you guys said were maybe Wusa. You think they're maybe a little too strong, or maybe someone needs a buff?
I actually don't think they're too strong. So like Wusa, yeah, he's got a big bubble and it helps a lot and he comes with immunity. But the thing is he has a really good mana cost that balances him. He's a 5 mana cost. So he doesn't get that skill up before half your monsters get a skill on. So if you get a defense break in before he pops that, he doesn't cleanse. So you're still defense broken. You can still nuke that monster down. So I really don't feel like he's overpowered unless you get that immunity and you get the debuffs off and you're just kind of holding on to him, spamming that bubble. That's the only time it can be broken. But as a as a counter pick measure, you have to think that that's what that player's going to do. So you'll ban the Busa, or maybe you'll pick something that can strip, like
Yeah,
the
maybe
Juno.
Juno suck med or something. Yeah.
I really don't think Juno's that broken, honestly. I think they increased her mana cost on her saws. I could have sworn it was 3 before, but it's 4.
I think it was always 4.
Yeah, I think it was 4.
It might just be me then. I didn't really use her because I didn't really like that she was such a high mana cost unit. And I still don't pick her and ever. Like, I really don't like to use her because I don't think she's that great.
See,
Because you,
I hate to be this person here, but I think that's because you're a Kina. Because, like, when you're in Orpia, it's like unlimited mana hack.
yeah, that's the true too. It comes down to the character. Oh, sorry, go back.
Sorry, what?
Oh,
Oh, were you gonna say something?
No, I wasn't about to say anything. I just kind of chuckled and oh, no, that's all.
Because, like, I find, so when I pair Bastet and Juno, and then I have my opposite element, my mana is, like, unlimited. Like, and that's not even including my Verd now. Like, it's just, like, mana. And, like, Chetta's kind of the same, right? Like, you just spam her in, Battlefield, sorry.
Battlefield, yeah.
And you have, like, unlimited mana, but it doesn't work the same for you in
You don't get as many harmful effects put on you, so you can't get the mana procs off Juno as easily in Brawl.
Yeah, so what Chetta does is he just, like, he tries to get all the debuffs. Like, give me the debuffs. And then he just spams his Juno for...
I just run into, like, their whole team in Battlefield and provoke them all. And then just start spamming Juno's heal. And unless they get an Oblivion and then a one-shot on me, I'll just cleanse everything. And now he's at full mana.
interesting.
But, like, it's only a cleave thing, right? Because if you're not cleave, you're actually just going to get one-shotted.
Yeah, you're just gonna die. Because I try to do that and I just die, so...
That is true. But I don't think she's actually overpowered at all because, like, the way that I deal with her is I use Taylor. I just or another DPS, and you just let your mana pool, and then you just kill her. Like, if you let Taylor go through, that's where people need to learn another skill that comes really popular that you need to know in PvP to, like, kind of push up is when to swap off your monster. Like El Shurian, he's got a 3/6 mana cost. So I hit the 3, I swap off, he casts his 6 mana skill for no mana cost to me, and then I swap back to him. I do the same with Taylor. I hit the Q, I knock you on the ground, I swap off him, he does his own taunt, I swap back, and I have enough mana to hit another Q. And that's three attacks I could have sunk into your Juno and, like, possibly eliminated her right there.
Yeah, having the Taylor is really nice because the opposite element, right? So he's a big tanky bitch that can do a lot of damage to her. I think he's a really good counter for her.
And I don't think he's, like, I feel like he is kind of, like, getting close to kind of overtuned, but really if you bring a defense break, you can bring Taylor's power down substantially because you can negate the defense buff he gives himself, and then he's just his standard unit.
Yeah. It'll also balance itself out more if they release stronger wind monsters.
Yeah, like right now Argon's kind of the one, right?
Thing Yang.
Thing Yang, yeah.
I feel like you guys are missing out on the Green Beetle, man.
Oh, yeah, with that change to him, yep.
Green Beetle.
Oh yeah, he just got the buff.
The biggest buff.
I think I have the. Oh no, I have
the green one.
Is it the green one or the fire one?
Well, everyone got the fire one. You can see.
Oh yeah, I'm dumb. Yeah. Oh, maybe I built him. Maybe I need to look into that. So even in the high end, you don't think anything's too crazy right now? Is there a character that you really think is, like, super good on paper, but it just doesn't work? Like maybe you built them and then you're like, F this, you know?
That's Light Panda right there.
I think that was Cheddar with his Ashabel too.
Yeah, I built it up and
Which one is that?
He's a dark sylph, so he just, like, sleeps.
Oh, dude,
pretty
you're
much.
underestimating him. Sleep is so strong.
But it's the cooldown. So you sleep them, they're awake in 10 seconds, you can't sleep them for 30 seconds, now you have a unit that's totally useless. That doesn't do anything for 20 seconds.
There isn't that cooldown though, right?
Yeah.
No. It's only bosses, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, Cheddar sucks. He can't do PvP.
Oh, okay. You know, it's so good for PvP because it's like Praha. When Praha came out, I always made fun of J-Babes because he was the first person to pick the Praha meta and like go put people to sleep in Brawl and then just slowly kill their monsters one by one, because you got that whole time. It's 14 seconds at max skill. You put them to sleep for 14 seconds, they can't do anything, and it works off a hit.
Isn't
So
that
you have
good,
to hit
is it?
them 5 times to break the sleep. And so you can slowly just methodically kill somebody's monsters, and they keep putting them back to sleep using
Everyone
your
asleep,
mana,
yeah.
and they can't do anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know Chetta's problem? He's sitting on like 300,000 sky stones, like tons of gold, like,
I got over a million.
never does any of his shit, like just hoards everything.
Well, my
but
main problem with the Ashubel is that I actually need to use my devil mods on my monsters to clear PvE content.
yeah. But the biggest thing too is like, even from playing Sky Arena, like if you just like focus on like the long game at first and save your shit, like they keep coming out with better shit, right?
Yeah.
That's the hard part. I like to spend my resources.
I'm with you. To be honest, like I feel like that's the biggest crutch in the game right now is people got all this gold piled up and they're not spending their resources to improve their characters. They're not working on their runes, they're not working on their monsters. They're just pulling this gold up, and I'm like, what are you using it for? There's so much you can do with that gold. And I feel like that hurts them as a player moving forward in the game.
You know what hurts
Toaster
me?
is, like always under 100k gold, pretty much. He's always burning it.
Yeah,
right
that's me
away.
too. Yep, me too. Always. It's always gone. Like, I think I'm sitting on 1 million gold right now because I got it like over today. And it'll be gone by tonight. What really irks me with the gold and the hoarding, and I'm getting on Chetta's butt about it, is the professions. All like, maybe I'm wrong about this. Okay, I'm gonna say that full disclosure. But all these people are worried about building hero gems and shit and hero stuff for their monster and their summoner, and like I'm just trying to fucking get master opened so that I can craft the legendaries. Like fuck the heroes. I don't need heroes. I need all my resources for legendaries. So
Okay,
like
so I do want to talk on that too, because I think it's important to build the hero gems. The reason I want to say that is because legend gems have a huge roll bracket. Like we're talking like cap is 12% on an HP, but the minimum roll is like 5%. A hero gem has a smaller roll bracket. It's like 4 to 7%. And you can actually have better hero gems than the money that you wasted on this legendary gem.
yeah.
Yep. I think Sky Arena was kind of like that as well, where a max roll of a hero gem was better than a min roll of a legendary.
Of a legendary.
Yeah.
But the RNG though, I believe. I have faith.
Yeah, if you're really lucky then.
Like my biggest
Take the gamble.
yeah. My biggest thing is like you need 20 green ones or whatever alone just for like the master upgrade. Like, and you know, I guess I'm saying that I'm pretty sure all my gems are heroes, pretty much, except for like 3.
That you use?
Yeah, and the blue weapon that I have, I just put 2 non-hero ones in it because I wanted to steal the green gem for the promotion request for master. But yeah, so Toaster, you think it's better just to go for the hero ones, eh? Fuck the legendaries?
I think it's better to stage yourself up. Yeah, get the green ones, get the blue ones, then get the purple ones. And then once you have all the purple ones, then go for the master quest, because the total investment, they calculated it, it's about 70 million gold, not including, buying and finding all the resources. And that includes 10 million, which is actually allotted to farming the resources, like pickaxes and gloves.
Pickaxes
alone,
and
is like
Yeah.
10 million gold.
I know I had someone in our alliance, they posted a picture and they had like 14 million gold or whatever. And I forget what they were asking, but they're like, oh, I have so much gold, I don't know what to do with it. And I was like, how far are you in professions? And they're like, oh, level 6 alchemy, level 7 everything else or whatever, And I was like, yeah, there goes all your gold. It's already gone. Just to get to level 7. Like, literally gone.
Exactly.
I think I spent 3 million the other day just making mango sherbet and the faux tea, the chamomile faux soup shit. I don't know what it's called. Yeah, like $4 million gone. Rip.
Yeah, it's expensive. And calm mackerels. Calm mackerels is like one of the hardest parts. You got to be on every Monday.
Fucking
do your fishing.
bullshit. Yeah, I make Cheddar do it for me on all 3 people all the time because I'm working. Like, Cheddar, you better do my fishing, goddammit. How many do we need, Cheddar? We did the math. 400? Yeah. I think I have like
400 fish.
203 or something like that since the beginning of the game. Now, mind you, I didn't know in the beginning. Look at that math.
Yeah, I remember turning them in for guild missions.
Yep, I used to turn in 6 all the time for guild missions. Rip.
Most expensive guild mission in the game.
Yeah. Every time I see it now, I'm like, oh dear God. I'm like, no one do that one.
Yeah, they need to take that one out.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one's a pretty rough one.
Oops. So we're just heading into open discussion. Is there anything you guys want to talk about? Any topics?
I mean, I did see the interesting ban list that came out. I don't know if you guys have caught wind of it, but there was like a ban wave in KR for people that were running multi accounts and feeding stuff to their main. I don't believe this was, it might have been in before, but if you go to the settings, they now added in terms of service, they added a 3rd tab, and it has the operation policy. It says it's from the start date, but we're pretty sure that wasn't there in the past. But they added a chart that kind of talks about what you can do to what can get you banned, and that's one of them. Having multi accounts and selling yourself stuff through the marketplace to get gain or get profits.
So are you still allowed to help out your guildmate though? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I understand not trading from yourself, but like.
Yeah, according to the listing, it says they're going to do. It's looking at IP based, like multi accounts from the same IP that are, funneling resources to gain that power advantage. Gotcha.
Yeah, I've sniped some Skystones a few times.
Oh no,
Skystones are selling for like 60,000, and they're up for like 2,000 or whatever the lowest price is. Like TY.
Yeah.
Yep.
Nice try, bitch.
The first battlefield of every day, I feel like there's a guy that does it, and I get like 30,000, 50,000 Skystones for free for dirt cheap every day almost. I'm pretty sure they quit now though.
Kept getting sniped. I was actually saying to Cheddar the other day, like, full disclosure, I'm not the hardest core gamer. Like, I didn't really play games till Sky Arena. I played, like, the crappy girly games, like, Candy Crush and shit, And then, we played Sky Arena forever. And then, we played a couple Marvel games and shit. And, this is my first game with, like, an actual, like, exchange center. And, like, I don't know, I realized I'm dumb. Like, I don't understand how it all works.
Yeah.
Like, I miss selling all the stuff for a bunch. Like, Cheddar got, like, 2-3 million Rahils. Like, I've only ever gotten, like, 400,000 because I'm just, like, dumb.
The first month of the game, everything that I farmed, every single thing I put up on the auction house.
Yeah, Cheddar just sold everything for the first month. He's like, oh, I'm just not going to progress the first month and just sell it all.
Like, probably almost 100,000 crystals. Something like that.
Yeah, and at the beginning of the game, I think things were more consistently going for way larger amounts of Rahilds too. Like, for example, you look at this newest Last Greed set, literally within the first 24 hours of it being out, things like some of the marbles were already dropping from like 1.5 mil down to like 200k and still not selling instantly. But like when White Castle first came out or Naraka first came out, those things stayed at like 1 million for a while, and people were actually buying them at that price.
Mm-hmm. Yep, I think that also is based on the set though. Like for example, like the next raid that comes out, it could have like the best PvE set, and that's gonna sell for tons, like boatloads. But the thing is, like this is a PvP set. That when you queue up, like when the brawl first starts, when you start a new account, there's only actually like 300 people that are actively playing brawl. And you can quickly climb to the top 100 with a moderate, power level. And a lot of people don't actually care about the PvP aspect. We even have people in our guild, like they do brawl occasionally, like once a week, and all they want to do is the PvE content. They want to do the raids, they want to do the speed racing. So like that greed gear has no value to those people, and that's a larger portion of the community. But when the next PvE gear comes up, you better believe if it's got a good sub on it, people are going to want it.
See, I found with the new PvP gear, I'm running a 4 set of it that's absolute trash. Like, it's so bad, and I just run it in Battlefield for the 11% less damage, and that's more than any of my stats on my gear.
I had the same thing. I've been telling people that my stats dropped. I lost like 1400 defense. I gained like 10k HP, but that 11% damage reduction made up more than enough for that defense loss, and even further. That it was crazy. Like how much less damage I took.
Like, I know I'm an Orbia, so it's probably a bad call, but like on my like actual build, like I have 100 crit rate, pretty decent crit damage, a lot of attack, and I will say I got lucky. I have an attack bracelet as my PvP bracelet. That was like one of my first attack bracelets I got, and it was for the PvP set. I was like, yes. But I found so I'm running at like 66 crit rate or something fucking horrible, so my damage is a little bit less, but I'm just alive more, so I can get more kills. Like that 11% less damage.
Your monsters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like I use Annabelle now, so I just spam heal. So as long as Annabelle doesn't die, I'm good. Do you guys have anything else that you want to discuss?
Nothing else that I can really think of right now.
You have something, Jedi? You always have something.
Yeah. Did you guys see the collab monsters or whatever?
Oh, from Korea?
Yeah.
I think they're coming over. It seems like. I think there was an announcement in there.
Yeah, doesn't that mean we're not getting fucking vampires again?
Maybe.
No, yeah, well, who knows when we'll get them. I mean, I'm sure eventually, right? But yeah, I guess we're getting collab first.
I don't even want them, okay? I want to do people's summons that have been telling me I could do their summons for like 3 months. When they finally come out.
A lot of people are have been saving up for a while for those vampire hunters, huh?
Oh, yeah.
I think they're really good for PvE. Oh, PvP.
They're both, but PvP they really shine. But I think, honestly, they've been putting those off for so long, and I'm glad too because they were so overpowered in KR that in Korea that everybody uses them. They you can't really see. You won't see a brawl match that one is not picked, at least one. And the dark one and the blue one, they're both fantastic units. So I hope that they really think about. They fix them before they release them because they're just way too strong.
Too strong.
Yeah,
no, I want to do summons for people. They can fix it after.
Yeah, that's classic CompTOS. They'll release them, and then a week after, they'll do a balance on them.
The old bait and switch.
No, not
the vampire.
The vampires.
So I'm not gonna lie, I'm completely out of the loop on the collab unit. Can someone fill me in here?
They released the collab unit in Korea, and they nerfed that. They had to nerf the fire unit within 2 hours of it coming out.
Oh, they wrote it wrong. They didn't nerf them. They wrote it wrong, right?
Or maybe they wrote.
Well,
I think he was working.
However you want to say it, they wrote his skill, and it was too good.
Yeah. I mean, I read it and I was like, how do you not everyone needs to build this.
Me and Topher were like, oh my god, this is going to be the best unit ever. Me and Topher were like, this is the best.
Made a video on it right away.
Yeah, Topher's like, this is going to be the best unit ever, and then they're like, actually, just kidding.
Before his video was released, they already nerfed
it. Yeah, and you had a lot of Koreans that are really pissed off about that though, because you're talking people are spending real money on that stuff, they're buying the packs, they're, spending hundreds of dollars to
I bet you a lot of people refunded
600
there.
summons only for it to get changed 2 hours later. And they were very dissatisfied with the what do you call it? The whatever
compensation.
The compensation.
Yeah.
It wasn't nearly enough for
what was the compensation, do you know?
I don't remember off the top.
I can't remember. It wasn't much, though.
Yeah, probably. Honestly,
it was like a bunch of legendary scrolls, I think.
Oof.
It was like when we had that moderation, that weird. I don't know if you guys saw that in the main Discord when they were talking about it. There's somebody had was talking in the administrator tab and saying some really obscene things, and it had admin next to their name or system, and it was going on in multiple servers, and they were like, we need compensation, this impacts us emotionally, and they got one mystic scroll the next day.
Yeah,
pretty wild day though that was.
It was kind of crazy when they gave us a Rezo stone for writing Juno's skill wrong, even though if you just used her one time you knew. And they gave us a Rezo stone for it.
And a bunch of mystical scrolls. They give us 40 mystical scrolls too.
But then when they make like a real mistake, they're like, here's 10k gold. What?
The compensation is really bizarre. Yeah, they were like, oh, we forgot to reset your Rahil orders and your recharges. Here's 300 boxes of 300 Rahil
Oh,
orders.
that was
like,
so good.
Oh, my
Oh,
goodness.
bring that back.
Could you
make that
imagine if
mistake
we had
more
that for
often.
this event now? Oh man.
Man, I've been so bad this event. I've been refreshing my 400 crystals for my Rahil, my fucking 200 crystal refreshes on all the dungeons. Like, I've been so bad. This event is insane. I've been going Breath of Life. What have you guys been going?
What? Breath?
Yeah,
Oh,
see, I knew it.
We're at like 250 plus Mystic Scrolls right now.
Mystic
off the event.
Scrolls.
I did. I've done probably about 50 Breath of Life boxes and about 80 scroll boxes.
Oh, man. Well, you need that gold, so it really weighs.
It's not the gold. It's the Breath of Life. I have no Breath of
What's
Life.
the Breath of Life? You want the gold? You're broke. Remember?
You know what I did, guys? I went Breath of Life until I had every Nat 5 that I was like currently using and building to the point where they needed pieces again. And then I started going for scrolls.
Oh, so I do want to talk about one more thing about the collab unit while we have it up here. The blue one. Do not miss out on the blue unit. If you're a PvE person, you love PvE, that's the blue Argon. It's going to be really good. It's going to help a lot.
The blue Argon.
Solid unit. Especially if you don't have Argon and you're just looking, you just need that one. Get the blue one.
Or just
she's
for
super
fire
solid.
bosses in general, because she also has the passive where she does 40% more damage to fire element on top of having the regular element advantage to begin with. But yeah, the only difference is going to be just Argon can give himself level 5 attack up and she can't. But she still has the same skill. That's the key skill, where it does more based off of how many harmful effects. So.
Oh, Argon's actually just Naomi. I'm so dumb. I didn't even know that. I wish I had
It's like
Argon.
Super Naomi.
Yeah, no. That's what I meant.
Yeah, and then on top of that, like this event, if you guys aren't doing it, just make sure I try to advertise as much as possible to get.
This
in
is the
there,
best
do those
event they've
Essence
done, yeah.
dungeons. Yeah, this
Oh, and
event's
the
been
first-
the best one ever.
The first week of it was the biggest key
The bingo.
point because
Yeah.
the bingo was helping you
Get all your crystals
those
back.
crystals back. So,
Yep. That's what I did too. I was like, went ham on all my crystals and then ran all Carios. I think I cleared like 11 bingo boards, which is like 30 gems times like 12.
10.
Yep.
Yeah, it's
10, whatever. Math.
it's super solid.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, I
another
know
thing wanna
everyone's
bring
been
up-
going for the scrolls, but the Breath of Life package was very good. We did the math and we did a video about it. And everyone's like, yeah, okay, whatever. I'm still going scrolls. And I was like, okay, whatever, as long as you guys know the math. We're good.
Everyone wants the lottery tickets.
Because everyone was trying to tell me, like, oh, you just get the Breath of Life from the scrolls. I'm like, okay, but like not even close to the same amount, even if you talk about the difference in value. But yeah, scrolls are way better. Like I gave in too. I bought 80 scrolls. So. I was like really embarrassed when I went to do my summon video because I was like ripping on everyone. I'm like, y'all are just gamblers. But I did it anyway.
Aren't we all though?
Okay, Cheddah's saying he wants to wrap up here. Do you guys have anything else?
No, I'm good.
Yeah, I think that's just about it. Yeah.
All right, well, I really
Oh, wait.
appreciate your guys' time.
Oh,
Sorry, we forgot to talk about the arena changes. They got rid of the power buff and they brought in the healing reduction, and I was so toxic about it. I wanted to bring that up and just mention it. Like I thought it was gonna kill Kina's. I really did. I thought it was the Kina killer was this buff change. And
Yeah, I remember you saying you were really sad the first week and you're glad we didn't do the podcast because you would have been ripping on it. So sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, this change actually made it to where Kina's I feel really huge. Like we're able to really kind of flow there because with the when they removed that damage increase at the 40% at 90 seconds and then at 120 seconds, that extra interval, it made it to where anybody could kill us. But now that we just lose healing, they lose healing too. It's actually kind of a fair fight because they're not getting super powered and then just deleting us anymore.
Yeah, like Orbeas were getting cracked. If you went too long,
one-shotting people.
yeah, you either had to kill her quick or you got fucked.
But they are rebalancing it. They are rebalancing it. I think it came out in the last KR patch, Korean patch. They actually increased it to 20% instead of 10%. So we'll see next time once that patch comes to us, if that's going to be, push us a little bit further. But as of right now, I feel like it's actually really comfortably balanced. It balanced the PvP aspect here for us Kinas and also for the others because, we could heal forever.
Oh yeah.
True.
The Kina life. Yeah, no, I know a lot of people that were really salty about that change, and then I kind of like all fizzled out. I didn't hear.
No one's been talking about it the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, so I guess it went okay. I didn't even really notice a difference, to be honest. My fights don't go that long. I don't know.
I mean, it made shielders a lot stronger too, right, Toaster?
Oh yeah, it did make shielders more important because once that healing falls off, I think that's
You need
what's
the
gonna be
shields.
the change. Because your bubble doesn't lose density. And I brought it up to the ComToUS staff in the main Discord. I'm like, if you're gonna nerf healing, then you have to nerf bubble power because if I'm still getting 25,000 bubble from my Wusa and you can't heal, that's like free health. And I get it every, 5 mana. So you either have to focus my Wusa when we go in, and which also helps with Kinas because you're drawing the attention away from yourself because if they don't kill that, I can go long term and you'll just lose eventually.
The thing is, though, if you pick like a Wusa or a Bastet or something, like there's enough strippers, like they should probably just pick a stripper, right?
You can ban it.
Well, it'll fall
Like
off
I know,
at
but
the
that's
end.
part of the pick ban thing,
Like-
Like you should know going in the shield thing, like the in my opinion, because the heal thing, like there's nothing you can really do if they picked all healers. Like what are you gonna do? They're just gonna keep healing. But like if they pick like Bastet, Wusa, who else gives a shield?
I don't know.
That's the only two I can think of. Like if you pick like Bastet, Wusa, and like 2 other buffers, like I should probably pick Juno and Sekhmet, right? That would just
Well,
like.
that's where the skill kind of comes in, is because like, if I pick Wusa and you pick Sekhmet, I'll just wait until I watch you use your strip and then I'll use the bubble. I'll wait till you're about to use the skill, then I'll use the bubble and I'll just absorb it and then you can strip it after. That's okay. But eventually when your healers are not healing anymore, Juno's free game. I'm still getting a bubble for even a couple hits that's still absorbing damage that you can't put back on your monsters. And then once I kill your monster, then you have nothing. And then I got free bubbles again. And I've seen it where like people are playing green cleave and they'll go all the way and we'll kill their 3 monsters and they can green cleave, come back and kick your butt because you can't heal anymore and you don't have a bubble monster, but they have a bubble with their summoner.
Yeah, and they
It's,
defense buff themselves and bubble up.
Yeah, just turtle up, man. Turtle up.
Damn cleaves. All right, well, guys, I really, really appreciate you. Toaster, I don't think you mentioned your stream at the beginning. I just remembered right now. You want to tell everyone where they can find you?
Oh, yeah. Okay, definitely. Yeah, you can find me at ToasterBro69, I streamed a long time ago, Epic 7, and there aren't a lot of content creators. There aren't a lot of Kinas out there streaming, so I just wanted to put myself out there and
Kinas are rough. There's not very many Kinas. Yeah, we appreciate you. I'll be sure to leave your description below so that I don't know how many people will actually make it to this hour mark, but I'll make sure I leave your link down below. Power, you don't do any streaming or anything, do you?
I don't know. I just hang out in toasters.
Yeah, that's true. You guys are like always on. All right, well, we really appreciate you guys. We really appreciate your insight. Again, TOASTERBRO is #1 Brawl Arena on our server. Power is definitely up there as well. And a big part of the PvP. So we really, really appreciate your guys' insight and your time today. Thank you very much. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe as always. And we will catch you guys in the next one.